Yo, what's up, Dynamite? This is your boy Oscar Ntege again with yet another amazing video. In this video today, I'm going to show you guys the power of shooting in RAW. Oh, before we dive into this video, take a minute, subscribe to this channel, give this video a thumbs up if you love it, and leave comments below, and let's get into this. Now, I have two images here. Now, this is the JPEG version. Yes, this is the JPEG version. It is an overexposed image. Then this is the RAW version, this particular RAW version. I'm going to do edits for these two images that you're seeing here, and we see which one is going to yield better results, and you're going to be the judge for yourself. By the end of this video, you should be in position to know whether you have to shoot RAW or you could stick to JPEG. Of course, there are certain incidences where you would need to shoot JPEG because of loading time. For example, if you're a sports photographer, you want to shoot JPEG so that pictures load super fast on your memory cards and the like, because a raw image processing on a card takes a lot of time. Let us dive into this and we see how we go all about this, okay? So I'm going to just put this picture in Photoshop right here. Now, when you look at this particular image here, definitely it is overexposed, okay? So I'm going to work on it to the best and see what we can recover. You look at this particular piece, the highlights are blown out. You see the face is overly exposed, the top has lost its detail. Basically, it's all super blown out. So what are we going to do? We just come here. I'm going to put down the exposure since it is, very overexposed. So I'll just come and just see. I shall just put down the exposure. If I take it to the extreme, yeah, definitely I'll bring back some bit of highlights into the whole image, but I don't want to take it overboard. I still want to have a little bit of details in the shadow, but when you look at it, the sand doesn't have its texture and the like. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to come and pull down the highlights just here so that I bring back some detail into the highlights. I'm taking it to the extreme because we lost details in all the highlights. Then I'm also going to come and pull down the whites even more, and I want to bring back some detail into the shadow areas here, and I'm going to just come and just bring back details into the shadow area just like that, so that the shadows are a bit more illuminated. Then I'm just going to come and zoom it out a little bit. So I'm going to now go back to the things that I was supposed to do first. Now I'm just going to try white balancing it. This time around, I'm just going to come and just add in a little bit of warmth, then maybe a little bit of magenta for the skin tones. Of course, this can be worked on in Photoshop now. And then the next thing I'm going to do here, I'm just going to come and change the picture style. Since it's in a landscape kind of setting, I'll just put it in a landscape picture style to make it more vibrant and the like. Then I'll just still reduce the bit of magenta and the like here. So the next thing I'm going to do here, I'm just going to come and of course I'm not going to pump up the clarity, but when you look at it, we have a problem. We don't have details around this particular area and also this area, and the sand also doesn't have details. So what are we going to do? Let me just get this graduated filter, I don't know whether I pronounced that right, and then just come and drag it here, and I'll just come and reset this and maybe pull down the contrast, then rather the exposure, then highlights, and pump them down, and also the whites. But again, you see, and let me just open this up so that now we're going to try working on the JPEG version, yeah, and I'm going to put these two images on screen side by side so that you get a comparison between the JPEG and RAW. Okay, so let us look at the JPEG. This is the JPEG version. Okay, we're just going to bring it here, and then now we're going to use the camera raw filter to bring back details within this particular image. So you come here at filter and say camera raw filter. Oops, sorry, that was a filter I had applied, but let me just press Ctrl Z to go back so that I reset it. So I'll just come here and say camera raw filter. Now if I come and pull down the exposure, Yeah, okay, let me just take it again to the extreme. Yeah, exposure. Then I'm going to still come, bring back some details into the highlights by putting down the highlights a bit. And then the whites, I'm also going to pull them down as we had done for the other image. Then contrast, I think I'm just going to put it in. Then I'm going to bring back some details back in the shadow areas there. And maybe I want to put in the blacks. And what else? Let me get this graduated filter, this one here, and then just try to come and bring back details into the sand. So when you look at it, I still have almost the same settings like the ones I had used in the other previous, in the camera raw version photo. And okay, let me try also using this exposure knob here and see what it really brings in the maybe. Oh no, okay, I think it really doesn't work. So I have two images here. Now let me when you look at this, now let's look at this camera roll. Let me just zoom this in. Yep, okay, I'll just come and place this one here, and also place this one right here. Okay, I'll zoom this out so that they all okay, let me just, so that we look at them side by side, yeah, without being unfair to any of the images. Now look at these two images. We have, this is the JPEG version and this is the RAW version. When you look at the JPEG version, you can see that Photoshop is really struggling to bring back highlights. That's why it's even putting on that kind of dark overlay to replace what would be reduction in exposure. But when you look at the camera raw version, it has at least brought back a lot of detail. Let me just zoom this in and we compare, yeah, the close-up versions. Now look at this. When you look at this, we have even better skin tones. The skin tones here have gone into the yellow zones and the like. I'll just bring this up. Yes, the camera raw didn't bring back the highlights as we really wanted, but let me just bring this and we see how this one has performed. Yeah, now when you look at around this armpit zone, the camera seems to have won the battle there. It is, you know. Now let me just take you down here on the legs and you see what I'm talking about. Now look at this. You know, this, if with a lot more work in Photoshop, definitely you see you can still, it's just good, some color grading and color correction that could bring this back to life. But look at this, look at the way the JPEG has burnt highlights and the like. Okay, in essence, if I'm to tell you, if you're familiar with what was film and negative, now in digital photography, the camera raw version is like you having your negatives. Those have the details and everything, you know. But JPEG version, it is a camera that is doing the processing for you. Basically, you don't have a chance to bring back lost detail. So in essence, who won the battle? Of course, it is the camera raw that won the battle. Now imagine this was a picture of the bride cutting cake and it's the only shot you have. I mean, would you deliver a JPEG version that you've tried to exaggerate, or you would rather, I don't know. But look at the importance and the impact of the kind of event you're shooting or the kind of photo shoot you're doing and determine whether you would need to do camera raw or JPEG. And the other advantage this has is that you can even tackle individual colors, you know, within a particular image. I don't want this video to be so long. In essence, I just wanted you guys to get a comparison between RAW and JPEG. You have to shoot in RAW if you're really doing essential images. If you're a person who shoots events, weddings and such kind of things, please shoot in RAW. And that's that for today. I hope to see you in my next tutorial and adios.